I've ridden 134 roller coasters, and I plan on getting many more new coaster credits this year. However, before I do, I wanted to count down my top 15 roller coasters I've ridden as of spring 2020. Anyways, let's get right into it. Number 15 is Boulder Dash at Lake Compounds. This wooden coaster is incredible. It uses the terrain to perfection. The ride flies through the forest while giving some awesome airtime. However, those final hills, especially in the back row, give crazy ejector airtime. The ride is extremely rough, but in my opinion, that adds to the experience of a ride, as it feels like you actually are a boulder falling down the mountain. This is my second favorite wooden coaster I've ridden at the moment. My number one wooden coaster is, well, you'll see it later in the video. Number 14 is Griffin at Busch Gardens, Warrensburg. This is my third favorite B&M coaster at Busch Gardens, Warrensburg, with the other two being a little bit higher on this list. Griffin is an amazing coaster. The drop is absolutely stunning. It holds you up there for about 2 or 3 seconds, then the train dives down the drop, giving an amazing moment of photo airtime. The two inversions on this ride give great hang time, especially the first Edelman. Griffin is currently the only dive coaster I've ridden. However, I am riding Valraven this summer, and I'm still expecting Griffin to be better because it has those awesome classic B&M over-the-shoulder restraints instead of those very restricted B&M vest restraints like on Valraven. Overall, Griffin is incredible. Number 13 is Fahrenheit at Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Fahrenheit might be a tad bit overrated, but I love it. It's a very intense ride as it whips you through every inversion, especially the corkscrews. The drop isn't incredible, but it's still a fun drop. My favorite part of the ride has to be the Cobra Roll. Although it's the roughest part of the ride, it's also the most intense part of the ride, in my opinion. The Norwegian Loop is a very interesting inversion, but I really like it. Fahrenheit is a really fun coaster, and that's why it takes the number 13 spot. Number 12 is Apollo's Chariot at Busch Gardens, Warrensburg in Williamsburg, Virginia. This is one of the most underrated coasters I've ever ridden. This ride is awesome photo airtime no matter where you sit and has some awesome ejector moments in the back row. The helix is my favorite part of the ride as it's very intense, but not as intense as another Hyper's helix, which you'll see at the next spot. Anyways, back to Apollo's Chariot. I rode Apollo twice, and I wish I got more rides on it, because I think it would be higher on this list if I got more rides on it. But this ride is still incredible and comes at the number 12 spot. Number 11 is Nitro at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. Nitro is the best B&M hypercoaster I've ever ridden. The drop off the mid-course and the first drop in the back row are stunning. This ride has strong photo airtime on every hill. The helix is one of the most forceful moments I've experienced on any coaster. Nitro's helix actually made me black out once. That's how forceful it is. I expect Nitro to become my third favorite B&M hypercoaster after this year, since I'm riding Diamondback and Candemonium this year, which I'm expecting to be better than Nitro. But right now, Nitro is my favorite B&M hyper.
Now touch the sky before plummeting 85 degrees, accelerating to a wind-whipped 75 miles per hour. For the bravest of riders, the coaster offers winged outer seats, the first of their kind in the country.
Number 10 is Skyresh at Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Skyresh is a powerhouse of a coaster. This ride is super intense and has some awesome ejector airtime moments. That first drop in any row is incredible as it gives the best airtime moment I've ever experienced on any coaster. Towards the end of the ride, it also has a crazy ejector airtime moment which gives stunning airtime. This ride would be higher on this list if it weren't for one reason, the restraints. These restraints are awful. They crush your legs throughout the whole ride and it kills some of the airtime. Until I can figure out how to not get stapled by these restraints, Skyresh will remain at the number spot, but it's still an absolutely incredible coaster. Number 9 will shock you all, because number 9 is King Dekat at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. This is my most ridden coaster as I currently ridden it 66 times. This actually was my favorite coaster from 2013 to 2017 until in 2018 it was dethroned by Fury 325. After that, it moved down from number 2, and then in 2019 it moved down to number 7, and now it's number 9. But I still absolutely love this ride. It's super intense. A front row ride is a must-do for this ride. This ride is very battery, but in my opinion, I don't mind it. It actually makes the launch feel like you're in a rocket taking off. The worst part of King Dekat though is those over-the-shoulder restraints. They are hard plastic, and if you're really tall like I am, they really hurt your shoulders. But they're at least not as bad as Skyresh's restraint. I'm riding Top Load Dragster this summer, which I think will be a lot better than King Dekat. I do think I overrated King Dekat back a while ago, but I still love it, and it's my second favorite coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. Number 8 is Alpengeist at Busch Gardens, Warrensburg, in Williamsburg, Virginia. This is my favorite B&M invert I have ever ridden. The ride is super intense and very smooth. Every inversion on the ride whips you right through it, and even though the mid-course bake run basically slows you down to a complete stop, that 0G roll right after the mid-course bake run gives crazy hang time. This is my favorite B&M at Busch Gardens, Warrensburg, and also my favorite coaster at Busch Gardens, Warrensburg. Alpengeist is another one of the most underrated coasters I've ever ridden. I am riding Raptor at Cedar Point this year, which I think has a chance to become my new favorite invert. I also am riding Banshee at Kings Island this year, but I don't think that would be better than Alpengeist. Afterburn could have had a chance to become my number 1 favorite B&M invert if it was open when I went to Carowinds in 2018, which is the same year I went to Busch Gardens, Warrensburg. Overall, Alpengeist is an absolutely amazing B&M invert. Number 7 is Stormrunner at Hershey Park. Stormrunner is my favorite coaster at Hershey Park. It currently has the best launch I've ever experienced on any launch coaster I've ridden. The ride is super intense and has some awesome inversion. It is also extremely short but powerful, as it packs a lot into its layout. I think Candemonium will be better than Stormrunner, so I don't think Stormrunner will be my favorite coaster at Hershey Park after 2020, but Stormrunner is still incredible and comes in at the number 7 spot. Number 6 is Superman the Ride at Six Flags New England in Agawam, Massachusetts. This ride is outstanding. It has floater, projector, and ejector airtime throughout the whole ride. Those final hills give crazy ejector airtime, and the drop and first 2 hills give some amazing projector airtime. Superman also, in my opinion, has the best layout on any coaster I've ridden. The spaghetti bowl element is very intense, and the ride is very smooth. The restraints are extremely overhated on this ride, as I thought they weren't that bad at all. They actually are one of my favorite style of restraints. Superman the Ride is an absolutely incredible ride, and it just misses my top 5. So now, let's get into the top 5. Into the top 5 we go. At number 5 is Fury 325 at Carowinds in Charlotte, North Carolina. Fury 325 is the best B&M coaster I have ever ridden, and in my opinion, the best B&M ever made. This ride is a powerhouse as it packs in so much throughout the whole 3-minute and 25-second experience. The ride has an amazing drop, some absolutely fantastic airtime, and the treble clef is an awesome element. If Superman the Ride doesn't have the best layout, then that honor goes to Fury. Fury has height, speed, and intensity throughout the whole ride, making it one of my favorite coasters. Number 4 is Twisted Timbers at Kings Dominion in Doswell, Virginia. Twisted Timbers is an amazing RMC. This ride is crazy ejector airtime all throughout its layout, especially those 3 first camelback hills, which provide strong ejector airtime. Twisted Timbers also has my favorite inversion on any coaster, the Outer Bank turnaround. I'm not sure if that's the name for that inversion, but that inversion gives crazy hang time, and if you're in the back, it whips you right through it. The barrel roll drop provides amazing hang time, and is one of my favorite drops on any coaster I've ridden. I'm riding Storm Chaser this year, which also has a barrel roll drop, so I'm excited to see which drop is better, or if they're both the same. Twisted Timbers is also by far the most smoothest coaster I've ever ridden. There is no rattle or vibration throughout the whole ride. It also keeps its speed until the end of the ride. Overall, Twisted Timbers is an outstanding coaster, and that's why it comes in at the number 4 spot. However, there is one more RMC I prefer over this. Number 3 is Wicked Cyclone at Six Flags New England in Agawam, Massachusetts. Wicked Cyclone is the best RMC I have ever ridden. This ride has an outstanding ejector airtime, especially on those final hills. You literally feel like you're about to fly out of the train. The inversions on this ride are crazy, as all of them give hang time. The double down is absolutely outstanding moment of airtime, and is definitely one of the best parts of the ride. Wicked Cyclone is also very compact and one of the most intense coasters I've ever ridden. I'm expecting this to move down to my number 3 favorite RMC coaster after this year, because I'm riding Steel Vengeance and Storm Chaser this year, which I think will be better than Wicked Cyclone. However, Wicked Cyclone is still incredible, and that's why it makes my top 3. Number 2 is El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. El Toro is the best winning coaster I have ever ridden. This ride has outstanding airtime where you literally are almost standing up out of your seat. The drop is absolutely stunning. No matter where you sit, it gives amazing ejector airtime. However, nothing beats the best moment of the ride, the Rolling Thunder Hill. That gives some of the best airtime ever. You legit almost get flung out of your seat. The ride is kind of rough, but in my opinion that adds to the experience of El Toro, as it feels like you're riding a bull that is trying to fling you off. El Toro is an absolute masterpiece and comes in at the number 2 spot and is my favorite winning coaster. However, there's one coaster that I prefer over this. Let's travel down to King's Dominion in Doswell, Virginia for the most intense coaster ever to exist. And that coaster is...
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Number 1 is Intimidator 305 at King's Dominion in Doswell, Virginia. Intimidator 305 is the best roller coaster I have ever ridden. This ride is crazy intense, has some great ejector airtime and floater airtime moments, and that first turn, holy crap, is insane. It makes you gray out almost every time, and sometimes even makes you black out. In the back row, that drop gives crazy ejector airtime. The ride has very rapid transitions that make it feel like you're about to get flung out of the train. Intimidator 305 I think will remain my number 1 coaster for a long time. The only coasters I could see beating this out are Dekat at Fuji-Q Highland and Lightning Rod at Dollywood. Overall, Intimidator is an amazing ride and deserves the number 1 spot. So there we go. There is my top 15 roller coasters I've ever ridden spring 2020. I plan on riding a lot more new coasters this year, as I plan to go to Cedar Point, Kings Island, Holiday World, and Kentucky Kingdom on a massive road trip I have planned called the Midwest Coaster Road Trip. I will also be riding Jersey Devil and Candemonium this year, which I'm expecting both of them to make my top 15. Overall, 2020 sounds like it will be an amazing coaster season. However, I wanted to do this list before I get a lot of new credits this year. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please comment down below telling me what your favorite coasters are. Also, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Keep coasting on my coaster demons. Peace.